One of the leadership methods that I think is most effective, I call inspire to purpose. It's very closely related to Simon Sinek's Start with Why. In fact, Simon talks about what I'm going to talk about, but it's not what most people focus on. It's not what most people take from Simon's advice. Simon correctly advises leaders to start with why. Don't focus so much on what the organization is there to do or how they're going to do it, but why they're there to do it. Focus on the purpose. He correctly recognizes that human beings are purpose-driven, and you need to tap into that if you want to engage them, both workers and customers. The problem when leaders focus only on the organization's why is that most people are not that into what the organization is there to do, no matter how exciting the why might be and charismatic the leader. Most people take jobs because they need jobs and they found one that they could get. Even those who have a background that allows them some choice in the matter often take jobs because the job pays what's gonna give them the life that they want. Most people, despite the fact that leaders are becoming more and more focused on purpose, most workers are still disengaged. The solution is to focus not only on the organization's why, but on the individual worker's why. Now, Simon talks about this, but I don't think that many people hear it, because most organizations still ask the worker to put down essentially their why, put down who they are at the door, and come to work as this role. It's why I, a former psychotherapist, have a job as a consultant. I essentially do psychotherapy in the workplace because people are being asked to put down their why, put down who they are, and none of us do it. Everybody brings their self, their personality, their why, and all the rest of it to work with us every day. And it's understandable that managers would ask people to put this down and do their job, but you're just not going to get away from people being who they are. You don't have working for you 4 customer service reps. You've got Brian and Lisa and Clarissa and Bob, and they're going to be those people. And if you want to enroll those people, if you want to engage and motivate those people, you should start not with the organization's why, but with their why, and then tie that to the why, to the purpose of the organization. And this can always be done. Let me give you an example where the why of the person and the why of the organization seem completely unrelated. Let's say you've got a worker who wants to be a singer, but she's taken a job working for a software company that produces payroll software. She's not really into it. She's phoning it in. She's doing it because it pays the bills, but it's not what she thinks about. It's not what she dreams about. If you understand that she wants to be a singer, what her why, what her purpose is, you could explain to her, for example, that many recording artists have been taken advantage of because all they did was make music and they didn't understand business. And when they signed contracts to do business, they didn't do it intelligently. If you're going to be an artist, unless you're just going to do it for yourself and your friends for free, if you're going to go into the business of singing, you need to understand business. And if you pay attention to what's going on at this software company, that's what's going on. And if the manager understands that, and let's say she and the singer understand one another in this regard, they've had this conversation, every time the manager then gives an assignment to the singer, the manager can work to tie it back to the singer worker's purpose, and thus have a much better chance of engaging her. Another way to tie those things together is, regardless of what you want to do with your life, a major part of success is going to involve doing things that you don't want to do. Mike Tyson famously said, you have to do those things that you hate as passionately as you do those things that you love. I mean, success really does require that. So while you might love singing, a lot of what you're going to have to do on your path to becoming a successful singer involves things that you don't want to do. And if you can learn to grind here at this software company, if you can learn to come in every day and face that which does not excite you and still kill it, when you go back to then launch your career as a singer or further your career as a singer, you'll be unstoppable. You know, Simon had it right. Inspire people to the purpose of the organization, but understand that that's only going to go so far. People have their own why, their own purpose. And as I say, Simon speaks to this. He's focused on the person. But too often I fear that although he has enabled leaders to take a leap forward and to focus on why, they focus almost solely on the why of the organization. If you want to enroll everyone, you have to focus on their why. Because everybody's bringing that to work anyway. You know, human beings are purpose-driven. We want our lives to be of meaning. And all of us have either identified a purpose and put a name to it, or are searching for one and looking for help in finding it. You can always find that motivation inside an individual. Find it, understand it, and then show them how they can move toward its achievement by helping the organization achieve their purpose.